Hey everyone, Mr. Bahi in the house here, showing you guys how to simplify complex rational expressions. Now, these complex rational expressions are called complex because they literally look so complex. I mean, I see like one, two, three, four different fractions, like all combined into one fraction, and we gotta simplify the fraction in the numerator and simplify the fraction in the denominator to have one, and then multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator fractions to have one fraction. God, there's so many fractions. So, let's simplify this. Well, I'm going to look at just the numerator for now. Okay, and let's see how we can simplify that. You should know by now how to do this since you've already passed the adding rational expression station. So, looking at this, what would be a common denominator? Let me rewrite this part over here. So we have x squared plus 1, x squared over 9x plus 1/4. So I would have to multiply this by 9x, multiply that by 9x to find a common denominator. This we'd multiply by 4, this we'd multiply by 4 for our common denominators. This gives us 4x squared plus 9x all over 36x, all over 36x, which we can combine to 4x squared plus 9x all over 36x. Alright, and again, this is just the numerator that we simplified. So now let's simplify the denominator. Well, it's already simplified, which is good. So, rewriting the whole thing, we have our 4x squared plus 9x all over 36x all over, let me color code, 3x over 4x squared. Okay? So, to undo this, let's highlight again if that helps. So, to simplify this, just like in the previous examples, I'm going to have to multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. Times 4x squared all over 3x. Peace out, peace out, peace out, peace out. And times 4x squared over 3x. Okay. So, here's what I'm going to do. Now, when you're doing these problems, I want you to look at every term. Look at every part of the fraction and see if factoring might help us out. Because in this case, I haven't factored this out, but from my experience, I can look at it and say, well, I should factor because that's probably going to help me. So that's kind of the habit I want you guys getting into. Is just look at everything, see if you can factor. It's always better to be safe than sorry and factor anyway, because since you guys are still new to this, you don't have quite the vision that I have yet. But by the end of the year, I want you guys to be able to see these better than I can myself. All right? So I'm going to rewrite this as I'm going to factor out a 4. I'm sorry, not a 4. I'm going to factor out an x and rewrite that as 4x plus 9 all over 36x. And again, this is still the numerator. This is before I even multiplied this part yet. But now that we can multiply that, let's add that back in here. I can look at this and say, hey, well, I have an x here and an x squared over here, meaning these are going to cancel out. And looking over here, oh, look at that. How cool is this? This x is going to cancel out with this x. And we can do this because all these are written in terms of multiplication. So, let's take it a step further. What more can we do? I see a 4 and a 36. 4 goes into itself once, but it goes into 36 9 times. Now again, you can do all the simplifying at the very end when you get before you get your final answer. I like to do it now just because again with proper practice, aka doing your homework and challenging yourself and doing extra additional exercises even when it's not required. Because of that, I now have the eye to be able to see these clearly. So after all that canceling, the numerator is now just going to be 4x plus 9 times that x all over 9 times 3. That looks so much easier. You almost want to laugh at the fact that these are called complex rational expressions. Not that complex. Come on, who are you kidding? Distribute the x. We got 4x squared plus 9x all over 27. Can we simplify any more? Doesn't look like it. I can factor out an x in the numerator, but I don't need to because it's not like I'm going to be able to cancel it out with anything in the denominator. So I'm going to leave my answer as this. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you could rewrite this as 4x squared over 27 plus 9x over 27. And the only reason I was doing that was because I can cancel it out to a third. And then your new final answer would be 4x squared over 27 plus x over 3. So I like this answer better. To me, that looks simpler than this. However, you can do either or. Sometimes writing a single fraction as two fractions with different denominators. Two fractions with the same denominator sometimes helps you cancel things out and helps you cancel more things to make it look simpler, but it is not required. Like I said, I am perfectly fine with this. Okay? Go ahead and try your practice problems. Ask your group if you have any questions. Help each other out, and then see me if everyone feels like they're lost. Thank you very much, guys. Mr. Bahi signing out.